Welcome back, everybody, to another exciting edition. It's Media Night here on the Omnibros Live broadcast, part of the Omnibus Collectors Network. It's your boy Gio from A Week in Geekdom, and I'm joined by the always awesome comics guide. Lou, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, man. How's it going?
Doing pretty well. Exhausted, but excited to be here talking about video game news and movie news and all that fun stuff. Shout out to our buddy James. He's always used to be the artist formerly known as Jesse Say What. Now it's just Say What. He was the first one here, but now James is claiming that title as the first guy on the chat. So that's cool. Yeah. So welcome everybody. We got a bunch of cool news. Obviously, you guys can participate. Ask us anything you guys want, comic book related, movies, TV, all that fun stuff. I haven't watched the new episode of Boba Fett, if anybody's wondering about that. Excuse me. And what else dropped? Was there a new show that debuted recently?
Peacemaker, the latest episode of Peacemaker.
I'm up to date with that. The new one is tomorrow, right?
Right. Yes.
Okay, so I should be watching that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I woke up this morning thinking, fuck yeah, new episode of Peacemaker, and then I realized it's Thursday, it's not Wednesday, and I was really disappointed.
Yeah. Yeah, they should drop them on Wednesdays. I think it'd be easier.
Yeah.
So we got new shows. Let's see. We got movie news, we got not comics, we got video games, and oh, hey, Voracious Reader, right on cue. Thank you for that question. Hey, Lou, I'm getting an LG OLED this week. Any suggestions on how to get the best picture? Seen so many videos with different opinions.
Yeah, man. So here's the thing. For an OLED, you're going to need a bit of a breaking in period for those TVs because it's just natural because of how it's set up and the design of it. It's going to take it a while to really break in and get the picture that you want. But go to Artings, the letter R, then Tings, and they have a really solid picture guide as far as what their recommended settings are. So I always recommend people do that, and you go by their settings. They're pretty spot on. Those. That's what I use. And if you can, and this is totally optional, but if you can, I always recommend you get somebody to come in that is certified and can professionally calibrate it. And I'm not talking about the Best Buy guys or anything like that. Your best bet is to look for somebody that's actually certified and can come in and actually get into the real settings of it, because you have your general settings and then you have the real nitty-gritty settings in your system.
Yeah.
That require different kind of hardware, different kind of software that they'll plug into the TV and stuff like that. And they'll be able to really dial it in. I've never done that extensive of service simply because you're going to probably end up paying about $200 to get that done. And really, I'm just happy with the picture that I have as is. I think it looks beautiful as is. But I have heard great things from people that have gotten it professionally calibrated, and so that's the best advice I can give you. But enjoy it, man. Enjoy it, and just be careful for that burn-in, because I've had mine for 2 years now, and no burn-in so far. I eventually want to get it replaced within the next 2 years, because that's typically what the shelf life for these models are, about 4 to 5 years.
Yeah. I might be hunting a TV at some point this year, because the current one is... I did a no and accidentally punched it by mistake.
Oh.
So I got like 2 huge lines of dead pixels, because it's not OLED. It's a regular LED. It's 4K LED, but it's not OLED. And it was fine up until recently, and now it's starting to show up across the rest of the screen. And I'm like, I'm gonna have to get a new one.
Well, hey man, I mean, if I always recommend the thing is with an OLED is that an OLED is expensive as shit. Like even for an older 55-inch model, you're probably gonna end up throwing about 1,200 1,500 for an
Yeah.
older model, and it's not
Mhm.
even a full 65-inch. My recommendation is always, if you can, get a 65-inch because it's just worth it at this point. If you're gonna spend that much money, go the extra
Oh,
mile.
yeah,
Get the 65.
definitely.
Um, that's always what I tell people. But an OLED is a worthwhile investment. You have to you have to know how to take care of it. You can't leave static images on the screen. You got to change the channel with it every once in a while so you don't get burn-in and all that other stuff. You got to baby it, but it's worth it.
Cleveland Brown says should have rushed out to buy those TVs they have up front during Black Friday sales. And I'll tell you what, a couple years back, Walmart had Funai Chinese TVs for like $100 on Black Friday. One of the worst made-up brands that you can imagine, and people just went nuts for the Funai. And I used to go on Black Fridays just to look for random stuff like movies and like external hard drives and printers and stuff like that. And I would have no problems getting that because everybody would go for the TVs. And everybody was going nuts for the freaking Funai. I'm like, guys, that's gonna break down in like less than a year. What are you guys doing? And people were like going crazy, getting all the Funai boxes. It was mayhem. So
Well, it's just uninformed. A lot of people are uninformed and they see the huge TVs sitting in front of the Walmart on Black Friday and they think it's an amazing deal.
exactly.
No, they're terrible. Honestly, those are horrible TVs. If you can, just save up, man. Save up the cash over the span of it, because you'll end up in the long run enjoying it a lot more if you pay a little more. And not only that, if you can't go the OLED, I always recommend get a TCL, because TCLs are reliable. They're great models, and even though they're LEDs, they're really known for being a good budget friendly TV.
Mhm.
Matt Miranda has one of those, and he loves it.
Yeah. Voracious Reader got the 65-inch.
Good.
Nice.
You'll enjoy it, man. I hope it goes well. You'll dig it. You'll dig it. It's gonna take some messing around with it, but it'll be worth it in the end.
Before we get on to our main topics, let me remind you that this stream is brought to you by our official sponsor. That's InStockTrades.com, your home for all things collected editions, whether it's an omnibus, trade paperback, hardcover, manga, all that fun stuff. You get it at InStockTrades.com, up to 50 to even 60% off. Loyalty weekly sales, loyalty discount stack on an extra 2% to that. And if you place an order of $50 or more, you get free shipping. Fantastic customer service and wonderful packaging at InStockTrades.com, the official sponsor of your Omnibros here on the Omnibus Collectors Network. Also, reminder, next Monday, we're going to do the $50 gift card giveaway, so you guys want to tune in for that. Open to everybody, anybody watching on planet Earth, you can participate and try and win that gift card and get some sweet Omnis, hardcovers, trades, all that fun stuff, courtesy of InStockTrades.com.
Yeah.
And Lou, you recently did a Patreon hangout, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah, man. This last Saturday, Gabe and I had a good turnout. We had about close to 10 people on the show this past Saturday. That was a good turnout. And it was 8 o'clock. So the Patreon. In the link down below in the description, you can find the Patreon, which is patreon.com/omnibroslive, where for $5 a month, that's right, $5 for the price of a cup of coffee, you can support us, and not only that, you get invited to a Patreon hangout. So you get to chill with Gabe and I and a whole bunch of other people. So for those of you that miss Gabe, he did the show with me this past Saturday. We had a great time. We talked all things Peacemaker, The Matrix, and we shot the shit for about an hour and a half. We had a really cool time. $5 a month. And on top of that, you get the archive of all the old videos that we did as well. So there is literally hours of content that you guys have not seen from Gabe and I on that Patreon. We've been doing it for, I want to say it's over a year at this point.
I think so, yeah.
There's a lot of stuff on there right now.
Yeah. Nice. There you go. Plugs out of the way. Marvel Bab says, I missed Boba Fett because my ex came and got me out of my COVID isolation cell and took me to watch Spider-Man.
Cool, man.
Nice. What you thought of Spider-Man, Marvel Bab? Let us know. I have to say, I may or may not have sailed the high seas and may or may not have seen something about Spider-Man online.
Yeah.
But it was a fun movie. I'll just say that much. I dug it. It was fun.
If you did or did not, how did it look? Was it a good copy?
Oh, it was a horrible copy. I just wanted to see it and just not be affected by spoilers and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get that out of the way. And eventually, there was another copy with really good sound and okay image. I'm like, this works. All right. So I watched it a second time. Probably shouldn't have, but I watched it a second time to find, because the first one, it was blurry, but it filled the whole computer screen when I was watching it. And at some point, the audio cut off, and I'm not spoiling anything by saying like previous characters return. I'll just say that much, just in case. But at some point, I kept seeing other people show up. I'm like, oh look, there's another one. Oh, there's another one. And all the people crossing in front of the camera, which was hilarious. So again, I just wanted to get the spoilers out of the way, and I already have the Blu-ray pre-ordered because that's available on Amazon. So I will get the movie eventually and watch it as it was intended in high def. But it was fun. I dug it.
Good, man.
Question about Spider-Man before we move on to the main topics tonight. Why, and I can't remember the actor's name, the guy that plays Ned. Why did he get in shape for this movie? Because he didn't really do anything?
I don't know. I figured it was just kind of.
I thought there was going to be some reveal or like a multiverse version of him, or I'm like, okay. And then I watched this movie and like he did nothing. He did the equivalent of me on a day out, like just walking around. I'm like, you didn't need to get like, super in shape for this role. Like it could have been fine as is, but okay.
Maybe the guy just wanted to drop a few pounds because he lost a lot of weight in between.
Yeah, he was super cut and like, damn, son. I thought he was gonna play like a different character or a villain or something. And no, it was just regular Ned.
Yeah. He ended up losing a lot of weight in between movies, and I was like, man, good for him. Maybe he just wanted to get in better shape or whatever. Or you know, I mean, maybe he'll pop up in Doctor Strange. Who knows at this point with how things play out in that movie and stuff like that? Because it's clear that Ned has. Again, I guess slight spoilers for a movie that most of you, I'm sure, have seen, but Ned has apparently Ned has an affinity towards the magic in this movie because he was able to do some shit that even Doctor Strange went, okay,
yeah. James, maybe you have to be in shape to use magic. Maybe it takes a lot of calories out of you doing the thingy. Who knows? You guys are talking about Matrix. I haven't seen it yet, so I'm not going to comment on it. And I do want to see it, even if it sucks or whatever. I do want to see it. So I'm not going to talk about Matrix. I'm sorry. Do you have a release date for Spider-Man No Way Home from Amazon? No, it only says coming soon, but it should be March, because that's the time frame for movies on Blu-ray.
March, April.
3 or 4 months at most.
Yeah. March, April, somewhere around there is when you'll probably get it. I'm still waiting to watch Dune again. I'm waiting for that to come back to HBO Max. I've been dying to watch it again.
I thought you were gonna grab the Steelbook.
Nah, I didn't grab the Steelbook because the thing is, I know they're gonna put a nice little collection together once that second movie comes out, and I'll wait for that.
Smart, yeah. Or they do a cut with the two of them together. It's like a 100-hour version.
Hopefully.
How long is that movie?
2 hours and 40 minutes in that ballpark. So
it's not as long as the potential extended edition of the Batman movie.
No, wait. There's an extended edition of the Batman movie that's coming out?
I say that because that is my segue into the first topic. and it was revealed that the movie is 2 hours and 55 minutes, but they did a 4-hour version for screening and testing, and they cut it down to 3 hours.
Yeah, that always happens. They always have obscenely long times for some of these movies, and then they eventually get into the editing room and they go, okay, we're going to shorten this out and stuff like that. I think the most famous one is Kill Bill, where they shot Kill Bill 1 and 2 back to back, and fans for years have wanted both Kill Bill movies in one cut, which is the whole bloody affair, I think is what it's called. And it does exist. Quentin Tarantino has said it, and I have a friend who, through sailing the high seas, has been able to get that cut, and it's about 4 hours long, and it's both movies smashed together.
Ooh.
Tarantino has shown it in his theater.
Oh man, I would love to see that movie in that theater.
Yeah, he has shown it in his theater, but apparently it's always random when he shows it.
Yeah. So here's a little article on it. A 4-hour cut of the Batman was test screened by Warner Brothers. And honestly, they don't mind because it's Batman. Let's be real. Batman will sell because it's freaking Batman. Same as Spider-Man. So they can do it.
I think 4 hours would be pushing it for me, personally.
For a singular hero, I agree. If
Yeah.
it was a team-up movie, like the Justice League movie, for example, the Snyder Cut, I don't mind it because it's a team epic movie thing, whatever. But if even I, who loves Aquaman, I can't imagine like a 4 to 5 hour version of Aquaman. I'll be like, no. I got shit to do, guys.
Well, here's the thing about that Snyder Cut. I watched it, and you know what? I didn't feel the 4 hours.
It goes pretty quickly. It's not as bad as people made it out to be. Like, oh, it's 4 hours. What am I gonna do? I'm like, you got time. But it moves. The pacing is all right, and it moves pretty quickly for me.
Yeah. I didn't watching it. I thought, oh man, I gotta sit through this for 4 hours. I was like, you know what? This is going by pretty quick. Before I knew it, the movie was almost done.
Did I mention on this show why it was split up into chapters? Do you know about that?
No.
Wait, sorry. The original idea was for it to be a mini series. You remember that news?
Right. They kept going back and forth on that.
So it turned into a movie because Gal Gadot and Affleck and Cavill and all these other people, their contracts don't have TV appearances for their for the roles. So they could not make it a mini series and had to do as a 4-hour movie. The idea was a 4 episodes series thing, and so they had to do the same thing in movie form. I'm like, that makes sense. So it was originally going to be a TV show or a mini series. Sorry.
Well, I think there are very few films that justify a 4-hour cut. Most famously is probably Lord of the Rings. I will watch the extended editions of Lord of the Rings over the basic editions any day.
Oh, yes. Those no longer exist in my mind. Whenever I rewatch them, I recently got the 4K box set for them. Yeah. I just watched the extended. There's no point in going back to the theatrical.
No. The extended edition is by far the superior one. I just love people still complain. Well, what about Tom Bombadil? Nobody gives a shit about Tom Bombadil. I'm sorry, guys.
It was a nice scene, but it wasn't crucial for the story.
Nobody cares about Tom Bombadil.
The only thing I missed from the books was the final story arc with the whole thing with the Shire and Saruman at the end, because that was cut from the movies.
I am still to this day go back and watch those movies, and I am still extremely impressed with what Peter Jackson was able to do. And for the most part, it looks really good. It looks really fucking good. The Battle of Helm's Deep is still awesome. It is still an impressive feat that he was able to do.
I remember when I saw that for the first time, and they included the elves And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's not in the books, but oh my god, is it so cool that they arrived to help him? Yes, let's go.
Well, they took certain liberties where they had to take certain liberties, and
Yeah.
Legolas is always a badass. I love the character. I hope he is in the Amazon series. I don't think he is because I don't think he was born yet.
I don't think he's gonna be in it.
So I'm really looking forward to that Amazon series, but I just have my fingers crossed. Please use more practical and less CGI.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that killed the Hobbit movies for me.
Oh, The Hobbit. Rick Nelson says, "Can we get a shortened edition of the Hobbit movies where they're just 2 movies instead of 3?" There are editions out there on the internet that you can find, edits where they condense everything into like 1 3-hour movie, something like that, with the crucial scenes. And they're pretty meticulous with what they cut and how they alter and move scenes around to make this edition cut or whatever. I would recommend watching that.
Yeah, it's the same thing with the prequels. A lot of fans have taken it upon themselves to cut and re-edit the Star Wars prequels into one film. It's actually apparently a good film. Most famously, Topher Grace did it from that '70s show.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a big thing. He edited and cut his own version of the 3 Star Wars films, the prequels, and apparently it was really good what he came up with.
I have been for years telling people to have the Bombadil cut in Lord of the Rings trilogy, but I'm the only one. There you go, buddy. Bombadil was so elusive that you're the only one that have seen. You've seen that cut of the film.
Man.
Kenny, thank you for joining, buddy. In other news, Hasbro renewed its contract for Star Wars and Marvel. Not shocked, honestly. That they were not gonna let that go. That's a moneymaker. All the Marvel Legends and all that stuff in the Black Series. I would be shocked if they let those licenses drop.
I don't know. That's like McFarlane and DC. It's not going anywhere.
McFarlane and the DC toys, I absolutely loathe. I do not like them. I try to like them. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the sculpting or the paint or the accessory. They just don't look good to me. I'm not a fan of any figure so far.
Have you seen the newest ones for the Batman line?
For the Batman movie?
Yes.
Oh, let me bring you something.
Horrible. They look so bad. Oh my god.
Batman. Google the Batman.
It doesn't even look like they tried on it.
There's a picture that I want to show. Let's see, the Batman McFarlane toys. Batman DC Multiverse. There's one of Robert Pattinson. It doesn't look like him, but I just thought it was so funny. No kid would ever want that figure. Here it is, the Drifter. Let me share the screen here. I assume this is from early on in the movie. Look at this. This is the toy that all kids are going to grab in 2022.
A homeless man.
A homeless man with eyeshadow makeup. Why are we making this figure? There's no need. Just give me a Batman toy. That's it.
Except for the die-hard Batman guys that are going to buy this entire line, because there are those guys. No. I don't get the point of this.
This is like hobo version of MCU Winter Soldier. And the hands, they're not really. They're doing like this, doing a sign like "Hey." I don't know.
There's one that I saw the other day where it shows his actual face, and it looks like garbage, man.
Let's see. This one.
That's bad too. Look at the face.
Yeah. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. Yeah. Damn it, honey. There we go. Okay. Yeah, this is pretty rough. And the thing is, I don't know if we talked about it on Monday. Uh, SSD Toys, our buddy Tyler Blount, his figure is cross-eyed, and it looks ridiculous. So he got the bad action figure of the lot. Is it cross-eyed or cockeyed? Whatever the expression is.
Yeah.
But it's pretty bad. I don't know. I'm not a fan. They could do better.
Well, they have. That's the sad part. It's not like McFarlane Toys can't do better. McFarlane revolutionized this stuff in the 90s, and now they just pump out Batman figures every month.
Yeah, Kenny's right here. So far, some good figures and some very bad figures. Very Batman heavy, but it is what it is. I expected as much,
Yeah.
Whatever. That homeless man toy has Tyler's name written all over it. Let him know if he comes back and does a live stream. Let him know that he needs to buy that figure.
Didn't Hot Toys announce their Batman figure for the movie?
Yeah, that looks a lot better.
Jesus, that looks nice.
The Batman Hot Toys. It should be here. Or it was announced. I don't know. I think they announced it at the Fandom or something like that.
I could have swore I saw an image of it the other day.
Oh, here it is. Wait. Oh, these are tweets. I don't want to share tweets. Oh, coming soon. Let me share that just in case.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Heroic Hollywood for hooking us up. Get a first look at the Dark Knight and his crime-fighting arsenal. Oh, okay. Audio. Copyright. There we go. So this is the actual hot toy.
Ooh.
$200, but I think it's going to be worth it if you're a hot toy collector.
Baby, can I borrow $200? She said
200 could be 250. I'm not big on hot toys simply because it's all movies and Marvel and DC.
Mm-hmm.
And I like collecting video game stuff and anime based figures, and they don't have that. So if they ever do like a friggin' Metroid hot toy one day, then yeah, of course I'll get it. But man. I'm not getting any of the Hollywood actors and toys in toy form. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Jesse, you're late, brother. I'm just messing with you. Thank you for joining. Would you make the exception for McFarlane Inhumans line? I will. I will. Come on. I'm cheap like that. I'm a sellout.
Oh, man. If they ever put out an Inhumans hot toy line, I'm sorry for your wallet, Gio.
I'm still jealous that Jess has the Mesco Black Bolt and Lockjaw. I really wanted that, but I didn't have the money when it came out. And now it's sold out.
What's the resale on it?
It was going for $90 when it came out, and should be like between $100 and $200.
Damn.
But I don't feel comfortable spending more than $100 on plastic figures.
I get you.
Like, I get it. It's really well crafted. It's a deluxe thing, but like $100 on action figures that I'm just gonna put on a DTOF and occasionally stare at them. Like, I don't know about that.
It'll just remind you of the $200 you spent every time you walk by.
Yeah, I'd rather use that and get some manga, or if I'm gonna get some statues, it would be some nice ladies on the shelf, because I do have the Darkstalkers Kotobukiya stuff pre-ordered. Cool, and I just pre-ordered the King of Fighters Bishoju line, so I'm excited for that.
Yeah, you and Omar have been going deep into that limited run game stuff, though, right?
Limited run and the Bishoju line, he collects that as well. Same thing.
Yeah.
Kotobukiya is my favorite of the statue manufacturers.
Mm-hmm.
They put out the best looking anime-inspired stuff.
Cool.
The Pattinson action figure looks like COVID man. Yeah, very appropriate. I dig it. So, speaking of digging and movies, Here's another segue, which I wanted to get your take on it.
Mm-hmm.
Mortal Kombat 2 is officially happening at Warner Brothers. What do you think of that?
I hated that first movie.
I still haven't seen it. I forgot to
I
watch it.
the first 10 minutes are badass. It's awesome. My man, if the whole movie is this, oh my god, the whole movie is not this. It's Mortal Kombat without the tournament. That's the movie. That's basically the movie. It doesn't have a tournament. It's just wasted potential. It makes no sense. I mean, yeah, I know somebody's gonna just bag on me in the chat because it's Mortal Kombat. It's not supposed to make sense. Okay, yeah, I get it. But you can still have something that's coherent.
But it could make sense, yeah.
You know, you can still have something that's coherent. Whatever. I mean, if it's even at least mildly better than the first, and if it has, just have a tournament.
Just
What
that
about-
was I was gonna say that. Just do the tournament and you'll win people over.
Right. It's blood sport. Just give me blood sport and I'll be fine. Okay?
Yeah.
That's all I need.
It says here that they hired Jeremy Slater, the one that did Moon Knight for Marvel. So that's interesting. Reboot. Yeah. New Line hires Moon Knight's Jeremy Slater to write the script. According to a new report, the movie's happening. They're taking necessary steps to continue the franchise. The dude also wrote Umbrella Academy for Netflix. Interesting.
Okay. I'm in.
Yeah, just do a tournament, guys. I do want to watch it. I do want to watch it though. It's just I keep forgetting to. I got other stuff to watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did that movie have like post-credit scenes and stuff like that, or?
I don't think it had any post-credit scenes.
And it wasn't too long either, right?
Yeah, it was like an hour and a half, hour 40 minutes. It was pretty short. Or maybe it did have post-credit scene. I can't remember exactly. All I remember is I didn't like it. I did not like it. That's all I remember. I completely forgot most of that movie, honestly. I watched it and I was like, man, this is the choreography wasn't even that great. The fight choreography was and the editing in the fight is just terrible.
That's
and
a
you
big
have
sin.
Huh?
That's a big sin because it's based on a fighting game.
Right. And the thing is, you have the guy from the Raid playing Sub-Zero. I can't remember his name right now.
Yeah.
But he knows how to do this. He legit knows how to fight. And it's just terrible. It was just terrible, honestly. They did the Jason Bourne thing where they do cut. And a lot of the fighting is really close. So you can't really make out what's going on. And they do that in movies to mask the fact that the fighting's not that great and it's choreographed. When you watch the Raid films, what's great about the Raid films is that the camera is far back enough so you can see both actors that are fighting actually perform the moves and it doesn't cut a lot. So they really have to choreograph and make it look real in order because they can't hide it as much.
Yeah. Kenny says, I think it is really hard for any video game franchise to translate into a feature film. It's just, it's hard because video games are such an interactive experience. And it's like when you read a comic book or a manga, you're in charge of the pacing because you're the one reading it, and you can act out what you're reading in your mind when you're reading the lines and stuff. So it's almost like you're the director of that. And a movie, it's like setting the controller down and watching something instead of, getting that customized experience because the video game, you're the one playing it. And with the movie, it's sort of like the baseline edition so that everybody can enjoy it. And it doesn't often translate well. That said, I fully expect Uncharted to do poorly.
Oh, I think that's going to be terrible. I mean, you've got Tom Holland already apologizing before the movie even comes out. And that's never a good sign. I agree with you. There have been very small examples of them doing it well. I mean, Castlevania was an example of them knocking it out of the park, and I
Yeah.
think in part that was because Warren Ellis was the only writer for that show, and he's fucking Warren Ellis. He's an amazing writer. Um, I heard Arcane is really good on Netflix, and everybody keeps telling me I need to watch it. I just haven't had the time to sit down and watch it.
Same. Sorry, looking for something here. Yeah. So I'm in the same boat. I liked some of Castlevania, not everything. But it was still fun to see it animated. And Uncharted, I laughed at the Uncharted stuff because everybody was criticizing the looks of the actors. And
Yeah.
then in the last trailer that they showed, I think it's the final trailer, you finally see Wahlberg with the mustache. But I'm pretty sure that mustache scene is going to be at the finale of the movie.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be throughout the film or anything. And I'm like, guys, that's such a cheap Easter egg for you to pull off. Like, nah.
I have little to no hope for that movie. Honestly, I don't think.
I don't think there's a need to adapt video games into motion pictures. We also had the news of The Rock saying that he wanted to do another video game movie, but hasn't revealed which one. Here it is.
My favorite, but read the quote, and I'll get back to you on that. Just read me the quote.
Let me find the quote here.
Because there's one specific part of the quote where I just laughed.
I can't tell you which game in particular we're doing, but there will be an announcement this year. We're going to bring one of the biggest, most badass games to the screen, one that I've played for years. I'm really excited to bring it to fans around the world. Of course, we're going to do right by our gamer friends, but really, we're just going to make a great movie, said The Rock.
One that I've played for years. Does The Rock look like the kind of guy that he sits around and plays video games?
No. No.
That stuff always. I mean, I get it. It's publicity. You know, it's kind of like these actors that say, "Oh, you know, I've always loved comics and stuff like that," and it's like, have you? You know?
I think it'll be an 8-bit game that gets the movie treatment because he already did Rampage. I could see them tackling another arcade title or something like that.
I could see that.
Maybe a twin stick shooter or something like that, where you don't have really deep dialogue or anything. You don't have to craft a script or anything, and just go in and with the action. I don't know.
Okay, here's my theory. It has to be a jungle movie. Because for whatever reason, The Rock has this thing where he's in jungle movies and he wears the same outfit. So I'm guessing Pitfall.
Ooh, that's a good one.
You know, it's set in the jungle. It kind of follows the theme. It'll be the fifth movie in that whole jungle series that he's got going on. But no, seriously, I think it's going to be, just throwing it out there, Fortnite. It'll probably be something like Fortnite or God of War or something like that. I've seen that thrown around. But I think if anything, it's probably going to be Fortnite simply because he's in the damn game.
Yeah. Or it's not going to happen. This is just wishful thinking. Gears of War would be fun.
Gears of War would be really fun if they could get The Rock and Batista. Because Batista has wanted for years to do Gears of War. He's petitioned for it. Apparently, he's auditioned for it. He wanted to be Marcus in that series. And Gears of War has been a property that Microsoft has been trying to get off the ground for years in a movie form, and for whatever reason, it just hasn't stuck.
So we'll see. GTA, that'd be fun.
And here's the thing. I genuinely think Gears of War could work as a movie. It's a group of men on a mission film against insurmountable odds, and you've got your basic outline right there.
Yep. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? That'd be fun. Grand Theft Auto, he's talking about. He says, though it sounds clickbaity, one of the biggest, most badass games. That is such a broad statement because I think Animal Crossing is one of the most badass games, personally.
Oh my god, I'd love
So, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a Nintendo franchise. It'll probably be something from Sony or Microsoft.
that. Call of Duty. It could probably be Call of Duty.
Or Call of Duty, yeah.
Yeah.
The Rock is Duke Nukem. Oh my gosh. That movie would be canceled.
The Rock is Tom Nook.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Next, Imagine I saw, I'll be honest with you,
Kevin Hart is Isabel.
I don't think I may have seen like one or two of Kaiba, so I can't recommend it on a blind buy. But you got the money, go for it. What's the worst that could happen? The Rock is Luigi and Mario. He's not in the Nintendo movie, no? No, he's not in there. Yeah.
I don't think Luigi's in the Mario movie. He'll probably be the post.
Yeah, Luigi's the dude from Sunny in Philadelphia. Always Sunny.
Oh, he is. Charlie Day.
Charlie Day. Yeah. I really want to see that movie. And as soon as we learn that it was a thing that's happening, I don't have any expectations whatsoever. I just want to enjoy the franchise to see what the hell they do with it. Because at the end of the day, the franchise will outlive the movie. So it's not going to diminish the games. It's not going to ruin my childhood.
Yeah.
They're probably going to do, like Riley was saying, was it Jumanji route, where they're inhabiting the bodies of characters, and now they got like celebrity voices. They could probably just do that to explain why like Jack Black is doing Bowser or whatever, and this dude Chris Pratt is doing Mario. I don't know.
You know what? I'm actually kind of excited for it. I just hope they don't go the Sonic route where the characters come into our world and they're
please no. I will not watch that if it's live action TV. Movie.
I live in this realm. This realm sucks. I want to go to the Mushroom Kingdom.
Right? Yes. I like that it's Illumination. I know the track record isn't the best with the Minion movies and all that stuff, but at least it looks colorful. Right. And I hope it does well so that Nintendo can go and think, oh, if that did well, maybe we can do a Legend of Zelda animated thing. Maybe we can bring Star Fox or Metroid. I just want Metroid to happen at some point.
To this day, it amazes me that we have not gotten a live action Legend of Zelda. Metroid, I kind of understand because Metroid historically has not done well in Japan. If I remember correctly, that's been more of a thing here in the U.S. that it's been huge, and everywhere else. But in Japan, it just for whatever reason has not stuck.
Yeah,
I'm curious how the last one. Yeah, I'm curious how the last one did in Japan though.
The Metroid Dread? Yeah. It is on the list of the top 20 highest selling games of 2021.
I love that game.
Let me check again. List. Oh my gosh. Switch list. I think it was number 11, if I remember correctly. That's not what I'm looking for. Highest. Cleveland Brown, I'll take a swing. Rock and Death Stranding movie. It will be the Postman for 2022 and more trippy.
Wow. Like Postman. Jeez, that's an old one.
Yeah. The best-selling Switch games of 2021. This was posted last month, I think. Ring Fit, Splatoon 2, Pokemon, Let's Go, Pikachu, Super Mario Party, Super Mario Odyssey, Sword and Shield, Breath of the Wild. No, this isn't it. No, it's not it. Give me a second.
You're good, man.
Oh, because they're doing the top 10. That's why. If we go to Nintendo Japan. Okay, there it is. Mario Kart is still number 1. Animal Crossing, Smash Bros. Yeah, I think it was number 11 or number 12 was Metroid Dread. So it did really good. Let it be halfway decent, so Nintendo produces a Lord of the Rings-esque Zelda film. Or the start of the Smash Bros. Cinematic universe. That would be ambitious.
I know you didn't care for it, and I've said this on the show. I still like the first Sonic movie. Didn't think it was terrible. I'm looking forward to the second one, and I wish, like you, they didn't do the whole he's in our. I hate that trope. I hate the he's in our world thing. Just get him out of here. Go to yeah.
I think that's the main issue I have with the movie. I don't think it needed to be on Earth.
No,
just give me a regular Sonic movie, 3D animated or whatever, just off-world. I don't need Earth.
Yeah, no, you don't need Cyclops rolling around with Sonic. Nobody cares about him. Everybody just wants to hang out with Sonic.
The Rock is Baby Groot. Kick Vin Diesel out of the role? Yeah, sure. Vin Diesel doesn't need to come back as Groot.
He really doesn't.
Because you already recorded Happy Groot, Sad Groot, Angry Groot. You already have that voice bank, so you don't need to re-record that stuff, Just use the same files.
He really doesn't when you think about it, because they've got all they need from that first movie. They could have shortened it, lengthened it, compressed his voice for Baby Groot. You don't really need Vin Diesel to come back. If anything, you pay him a couple bucks for the license to his voice, and that's it.
Why would we do a live-action Zelda when we can do Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat movies, right? Although, to be fair, I want a good Street Fighter movie at some point because we haven't gotten it. They tried the 90s. It didn't work. They did that. You remember the Chun-Li spin-off movie with Christine Crook? I think that was her name.
Yep.
That was horrible. My favorite lady in video games, Chun-Li. I love that character. I did not like that movie at all. I want to see Street Fighter make a comeback.
Yeah.
Or do it. Whatever.
Although I will say, if you watch that original movie in the 90s, Raul Julia is acting his fucking ass off.
Oh, he gave it his all.
Yeah, he is dying of cancer while filming this movie. And he is acting his ass off and eating every single scene that he is in. And that movie is worth watching just for him alone.
Yeah. Did you see the Steelbook that came out?
No.
Recently or last year or this month? I don't know. It looks really fun. The cover for it.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. How were the animated movies? Were they any good?
The animated movie is awesome. I love it. I still haven't gotten it. I want to because I have the Darkstalkers OVA. I want to get the Street Fighter one to match it.
Okay.
Discotech did a boutique style release for it, and it sold out. And I don't think it's back in stock yet, but I do want to get that. If you look at the 90s Street Fighter movie as a live-action G.I. Joe movie, it works better than the actual G.I. Joe movies. Good point.
That second G.I. Joe movie is not bad.
I don't remember much about it.
It was the one with The Rock and Channing Tatum, and a whole bunch of them die at the very beginning of the movie. Channing Tatum's character is killed off within the first 20 minutes of the movie or something like that.
Yeah. They pulled a James Gunn Suicide Squad. Cyclops can't be with Jean anymore, so he now wants to be with the new Quicksilver Sonic. Yeah, that was not good, guys. If you want a good Sonic, I've said it before multiple times. If you want a good Sonic that's not a video game or a comic, watch Sonic X streaming on Hulu. Love it. It's basically the same premise. It's Sonic arriving on Earth, and instead of a middle-aged Cyclops, you get a young kid. So there's reason for Sonic to go slow because the kid can run. But unlike the movie where they're riding a van for some reason, or not a van, a pickup truck.
I am going to make a bet that at the end of this next Sonic movie, either in a post-credit scene or the very end, we will get a reference to either Shadow or Metal Sonic by the end of the movie.
Metal Sonic would be amazing. And same with Shadow. Yeah. Yes, please. I got something just for Cleveland Brown here. Give me a second. Can I share this? Cleveland Brown, you're saying that you don't want to see this in live action? If Sonic is not in the real world, they won't do that time when Sonic had a human girlfriend. Yeah, you don't want. Do you want to see this in live action?
That's a thing. Wow.
Yeah, the Sonic 2006 video game, I think.
I just love,
that
I love Knuckles in the background. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's just staring up in the background. That was a bad game. That was a bad game.
Sonic 06 was terrible.
Yeah. That was the same era where they did the werewolf one, which was weird. It was all right.
It was all right.
Now with the new one, kind of looks Breath of the Wild-esque with the open world, but I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Also, Sonic Saturday morning. Is that what you mean? Animated? It was amazing.
Sonic X?
Satan? I don't know.
That was Sonic X, right? The Saturday morning cartoon?
Yes.
Heard good things.
Oh no, for the love of God.
I really just love Knuckles' reaction in the background, like, what the fuck is going on?
What the hell? So speaking of video games, we got to talk a little bit about Pokemon Arceus, or Pokemon Legends Arceus. I did not expect for it to get glowing reviews. I was shocked.
Yeah.
It literally has Eurogamer gave it a recommended, VGC 5 out of 5, Telegraph 5 out of 5, Vooks 4.5 out of 5, Game Informer 8.75, GameSpot 8, Shack News, I don't know about that, 8, Game Central 8, Metacritic an 85 at the moment, and they're all just in love with the freaking game. I'm so excited. I'm hyped. I'm glad that I avoided as many spoilers because I know the game leaked early. Mm-hmm. I only know that, and it's not really a spoiler what I'm going to say, but the starters have alternate looks to them with the final evolutions. So I'm really excited to see them. I haven't seen them, but I saw that they were teased in the trailer from this week, I think. So I'm excited.
Yeah, no. I got curious this morning and I looked it up because I was like, when does this really? Oh my God, this comes out this week. And then I literally just out of a whim, I was like, yeah, when does that supposed to come out? And it comes out this Friday. And on top of that, the review embargo broke today. And I was like, oh shit, okay, this works.
Yep.
So I completely blew this thing off. I did not expect this to be this good. Based on the first trailer that I saw, I was like, this looks really rough. This looks like this is not going to be good. It looks stuttery. The world looks empty. And apparently, based on reviews, it's really fucking good. And some are even saying it's the best one. And you're talking to a person that I was there from the get. I still remember playing Blue on the old Game Boy where you had to have 6 batteries slammed into the back of that thing, and the battery life on it was about 4 hours.
Hell yeah. Those were good days, man.
Yeah, the battery life was about 4 hours, so I'd have to steal the batteries from my dad's control in the living room and switch them out, and he'd get pissed every time because he thinks the remote's broken. But I remember, man, I played every single one. Since the Red and Blue days, I have not missed a gen. I've gone through every single one. So this will be no different. I wasn't expecting it to be this good. So I'm super excited about it. And the fact that we are finally, what I'm impressed is I thought this was outsourced. I didn't think this was Game Freak because Game Freak has stuck to that formula of eight gym leaders. You go through the region, you become the champ. For the most part, since Red and Blue. And this seems like they really went out of their way to break that, and it's open world, and the whole system is completely different. I am so hyped for this. Honestly, I'm super excited.
It looks like it's a mashup of open world stuff and like Monster Hunter, where it's not like the map isn't like super big or anything, but it's still large enough where you can go through different areas and see all the Pokemon. And I love the idea that you don't have a Pokemon with you. There's no Pokedex. The Pokeballs look really rustic and homemade, and you just got to figure it out how to. I don't know how you're going to do it because I haven't looked too much into it to catch a wild Pokemon without anything on your side.
Yeah,
and then you use the ones that you catch to fight the other ones and build that Pokedex for the first time. I'm really interested in it, and I love that. Unfortunately, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl had to suffer as a consequence because Game Freak did not work on that. They outsourced that to another studio. That's why it ended up looking like it does. And I've been playing Shining Pearl recently, and I like it a lot, but I get the criticism. The chibi art style is not for everybody, and it does have some technical hiccups. And with this new one, Arceus, from what I've seen, the storytelling really, they really upped the storytelling, and it's one of the best lores in the series. And there were some complaints about the graphics and all that stuff, but I'll take what I can get, man. Yeah, it's a brand new territory for Game Freak and Pokemon, and I'm excited.
Yeah, no, I'm totally in agreement with you. They finally took some risk with this property. They needed to do this a long time ago because it was getting stale for a while.
Yeah.
And if this is basically the framework and the foundation for what we're getting forward, I applaud them. Honestly, I really do applaud them. If open world if finally is what we're getting, and this is them dipping their toes in it and basically going, okay, this is how we're going to do this. We're going to try it out for the first time. And then the next iteration is going to be even better. Then I'm 100% backing them up on this. We kind of got a taste of this in the last one because they had those zoned areas. I forgot the name. The Wild Frontier, I think is what it was, or something like that.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, so it felt like they dipped their toe in that, and now this is that, but on the scale of a whole game. And it seems like with every iteration they get bigger and bigger.
They add more stuff to them. Yep.
Right. So even if this one has flaws, which it most likely will, I'm looking forward to their next project if they keep going this way.
Matthew, someone always complains about the graphics. I'm not one of those, just to be clear, but you are correct. Somebody always complains about graphics. I'm a humble kid. I've been playing video games since 1990, 1991. So I don't, I recognize when there are bad graphics, but that doesn't mean the game will suck for me. But
nobody hates Pokemon more than Pokemon fans.
Yeah. Pokemon fans can be like the Star Wars fans of movies. But we have good fanboys. I consider myself a good fan. I don't complain. They're comfort food at this point. I don't mind playing the same formula over and over, but when we get stuff like this, it's exciting. This is what we've dreamed of since we played Red and Blue back in 98, right? 98, 97, 98, whatever.
97 was the Japanese release, I think. It was green, and I think we got Red and Blue 98, and I think Gold came in 2000 for us. If I'm not mistaken, Gold and Silver was 2000.
September 28, 1998. The U.S. release.
And that was Red and Blue. We got Gold and Silver in 2000. And Gold and Silver to me is still the best one.
I love Heart Gold. That's my favorite Pokemon game of the classics. So, I wanted to address this for Matthew. He's never played a Pokemon game. I think I might try it. Arceus. What are Pokemon games about? Well, it's a simplified version of JRPGs.
Hmm.
It has a lot of elements of that where you customize your character. Very simple. Don't get crazy ideas of customization.
Yeah.
It's a very simple character design, and you get your Pokedex, which is basically an iPhone nowadays, and you scan and catch the different Pokemon and become a master by defeating the gyms, getting the badges, and then going to Victory Road and fighting the Elite Four and becoming the top dog of that region. And the fun for me with Pokemon, aside from the battles, is catching all the different monsters and raising them and evolving them and building your team. My favorite thing to do in Pokemon games is filling out the Pokedex. I love the catching and training. I'm not huge into competitive fighting or any of that, but that's the aspect that I love. And I always joke that if I were in that universe, I would probably be a researcher or a breeder and not necessarily a fighter, because I just love the idea of all these wonderful creatures existing. I mean, you got 800 plus Pokemon, and now with Arceus, I'm pretty sure they added new ones, so it's a lot. We're nearing the 1,000 Pokemon mark. That's gonna be insane.
Yeah. I think you'll dig this then, based on everything that I've read, because it's literally just that. It's filling out the Pokedex, catching, research.
If you can, if you want to backtrack and get some older games, they're expensive because of the retro gaming nonsense. But try and get at least Let's Go Pikachu. I think that's a really nice, easy entry, and you'll dig it because you play the original story. And Sword and Shield. Sword and Shield did amazing. People complained. Do you remember the people complaining when Sword and Shield was coming out with the Pokedex?
I do.
None of that mattered because it's one of the highest selling Switch games of all time.
Yeah.
Sold millions of copies. And I think it's a great entry point into the series.
It's fun. I like Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed my time with it. Yeah. I think and here's, can you highlight N-Man's comment at 908?
The last time I saw or heard kids playing the Pokemon video games was about 10 years ago. Maybe more adults are playing them. I think it's one of those franchises where it's always getting new people involved, but the older fans have stuck with it. That's my perception of it, at least.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. The older fans, so people that are my age and your age, the ones that we grew up with the original games and stuff like that, we have never really let go of that stuff if we were into them as kids. They have always kind of stuck with us simply because I think it reminds us of a simpler time. And overall they're just fun, lighthearted games. And they're really great at the collection aspect of it, and it's just entertainment. So there's always going to be a special place in that generation's heart if you grew up in the 90s because of the crazy fad, because it was so huge. I still remember going to the movie with my parents, watching it with my brother and stuff like that. It was a special time. So
that's a good point. You got to remember that the late 90s boom of anime, one of the key factors, aside from Dragon Ball and Sailor Moon, was Pokemon. The Pokemon anime.
It was
exploded into the pop culture media of the U.S. and just America in general and the world.
It was,
and that just got everybody hooked on the series.
Yeah, no, I've told this story before, but I remember very, very distinctly sitting in my first communion as a kid, and that episode, I've told you this.
I remember. Yeah.
With Blaine's Magmar versus Ash's Charizard was playing that morning, and I was like, fuck this shit. I don't want to go to the communion. I want to watch this episode this morning. Yeah, it's broken through different generations. Honestly, there are still kids that love it. There are still kids that play it. I don't think the cool thing about Game Freak and Pokemon in general is that they seem to every few years really capture that public zeitgeist again. Because a few years ago, if you remember, Pokemon Go, the phone game, that blew up for a summer, dude. That was everywhere. So it's interesting because every few years they're able to make it a phenomenon again for whatever reason.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I'm into the collection-based game, but I've never played a game like that. Might try it. You think the older ones are better than Arceus? We don't personally know yet, but I think Arceus is such a different experience from what we're looking at compared to the older games
Mhm.
that I think at some point, Matthew, I think you want to experience the old formula so you know why we're crazy about it. If you can, I know it's expensive. They're all super expensive
Yeah.
nowadays, but if you can play the DS games and Heart Gold and all that stuff, that'd be a lot of fun to get like hands on with Pokemon.
Yeah.
I think Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee is better than Sword and Shield. Wow. I will say it has the better region of the two, but it used the phone mechanic to catch Pokemon, which a lot of people did not like. But Let's Go was a lot of fun. I think that's a great entry point for anybody wanting to get into Pokemon.
I had so many of those cards as a kid.
And the thing is, you don't even have to collect all the Pokemon. There are so many of them that you can just get the ones that you like and raise them and breed them and all that fun stuff.
Jeez.
Yeah.
You know how much money I spent on the cards as kids? As a kid. Jeez.
I'm mad that I lost my cards and I only have a few, like two mini binders of random cards, but I used to have a lot of them. And I wish I still had them. The card game always seemed to edge out the video games back in the late 90s, at least what I saw. Friends of mine ditched Magic for Pokemon. I collected Pokemon. I never learned how to play the friggin' game. I just like collecting cards.
Yeah, I never learned how to play the game. I just like buying the packs and getting different cards.
Yeah. Tamagotchi. Man, that's a deep cut.
Wow. Baby, did you ever have a Tamagotchi?
Yeah, that's
She said hers died in like 2 days.
I remember owning one, and you couldn't. It was such a craze. You couldn't bring it to school.
Yeah.
I studied in a private Catholic school, so the nuns would get mad because we would pay attention to the Tamagotchi instead of paying attention to class. So they banned them from school, and I had mine, but I didn't want it to die because I was doing really well. And I think my mom took it to her work, but she was working. She wasn't going to pay attention to it. So it eventually died. But I did get it to evolve into like the final stage where it looked like a giant dog or something like that.
Yeah.
But it died off. Yeah, they came back recently, but it didn't catch on.
Nah.
I think that will forever be stuck in the 90s.
Yeah.
Because Tamagotchi was sort of the gateway for Digimon, and just Digimon took off on its own. So, gang, we got like 2 more minutes before we wrap up. You got any other random questions at us? Throw them in the chat. Let me remind you that this episode is brought to you by our official sponsor. That's InStockTrades.com, your home for all things collected editions. Whether it's an omnibus, trade paperback, hardcover, manga, whatever it may be. If it's a hardcover, if it's a collected edition, if it's any sort of book, you got to get it at InStock Trades. Up to 50 to even 65% off on weekly deals. Go to their website and you'll see them at the front page. Up to 65 on books like the Robin Omnibus, which I recently saw. That's insane. Weekly deals, great packaging, wonderful customer service. That's, of course, InStockTrades.com, the official sponsor of Omnibros Live here on the Omnibus Collectors Network. $50 or more gets you free shipping. And, of course, you got to remember that next week on Monday, we're going to be doing the $50 gift card giveaway courtesy of InStockTrades.com. Michael Collins, best X-Men run. Oh my
That's
gosh. You picked
that's
the wrong Omnibros to ask this, personally.
that's dependent on everybody, man, because everybody's gonna have a different opinion on it.
What's your favorite X-Men run?
Uncanny X-Force by Rick Remender.
That's a great one. I really liked. Now, don't come at me because I'm not the biggest fan of the X-Men. I just like a few of the characters. Of what I've read, I really enjoyed. Uncanny X-Force was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed. What's the name of it? I know people hate on him. The Bendis stuff from Marvel Now.
Oh, dude.
But I liked it because he split the books into the Cyclops team,
Mhm.
that side of things. I really enjoyed. The other stuff, not so much. But the Cyclops with his shenanigans and Emma and all that, I really enjoyed. And like white costume Magneto and all that. I am also a fan of the later portion of Ultimate X-Men because I like what they did with Kitty Pryde and her role as a leader. I really enjoyed that.
Okay.
But again, please do keep in mind before you start hating on me, I'm not the biggest fan of the X-Men. So my knowledge is limited.
Didn't a Hulk in that universe, in Ultimate Universe, kill Wolverine? Isn't that a thing?
He ripped them apart, but Ultimate Wolverine is such a badass that even though he was ripped apart, he put himself back together again.
Comics.
Yep. But he went out. How the hell did he die? Spoilers. He dies in the Ultimate Universe because Jimmy Hudson was the next Wolverine. I feel like I should know this. How the hell did he die? It was Magneto. Yeah, I remember in near the end of Ultimatum. Magneto rips the adamantium from Wolverine's bones, killing Wolverine, leaving just a severely charred skeleton and an arm of flesh. It was edgy, but I liked the Ultimate Universe. A lot of people complain about Ultimatum. Yes, it's a bad event, but the basis of it was a lot of fun. That Magneto got so pissed off that he flipped the poles, the North Pole and South Pole, and just flipped the Earth around and massive tsunamis and all that stuff. That was a great, fun concept, just horribly executed. Claremont, Morrison, Nicieza, Lobdell era, Gary Hickman, if we're going with main X-Men comics. There you go. That's the final answer from our bold Cleveland Brown.
All right.
Okay, so I think that's it. No. Wait. I got one topic. We can cover it really quick.
What you got?
Because I put it in the freaking thumbnail. I got to do it. This February, we're getting the Steam Deck. Finally releasing. Are you going to get the Steam Deck?
Dude, I want one of these so badly. This thing looks badass. And it sounds impressive.
Yeah. Let me click on this. I picked the wrong article. Give me a second.
As somebody that doesn't have a dedicated gaming PC, this is right up my alley. This sounds really cool.
A Switch on steroids.
Yeah, pretty much.
It says here, Steam Deck, the day is almost here. On February 25th, we will be sending out the first batch of order emails to reservation holders. Customers will have 3 days, blah, blah, blah. I don't care about that. I didn't get one because they did not allow gamers from Puerto Rico to pre-order. Because they were racist douchebags. It's one of those things. I'm used to it by now, but it just sucks because I was right there and I could have pre-ordered, but I couldn't. So if you have the pre-order, watch out because they will be sending invites shortly after 10 a.m. on February 25th Pacific Standard Time. And you can go ahead and buy the damn thing, which I think is close to $300 or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, I think I even read that it can run God of War at 60 frames per second. The new God of War, and I'm like, holy shit.
We'll have to see. That's a tall order. We'll have to see.
Yeah, how powerful is this thing?
And you know that people are going to mod the hell out of it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's going to run all the like the Sega Saturn stuff and Dreamcast and all the high-end retro stuff that you can't get on a Raspberry Pi. You know people are going to work on it, or like PSP and PS Vita. That's the reason I want one of these.
Within a year, this bitch is going to be jailbroken, and it's going to be running everything.
Yeah. It'd be funny if they add Switch games, the hackers. So yeah, this is finally coming out. People are excited. It says I'm not quite sold yet on the design, simply because of the joysticks are so high up, but I get it because it has the mini trackpads. It's PC gaming. Yeah, but we'll see. I'm interested to see how it performs.
Now there are 3 models of this, right? Isn't that how it goes? And these don't connect to your TV or anything like that, right?
They don't connect to the TV, I think, and the models are different sizes of storage. Let's see if I can find that real quick. Steam Deck. Hardware.
Yeah, I won't be able to pick up one of these till probably next year, though. Everything's going to sell out instantly with this thing.
$400 is the price.
Is the next model up, or is that the base price?
Introducing Steam Deck starting at $400.
Okay. Baby, can I borrow $400? Okay, that's a no. We're out, dude.
All-in-one portable PC gaming. Yeah, your Steam library is already on your deck. I don't have a lot of Steam games because I'm mostly a console gamer, specifically Switch gamer. But I do have some.
Hey, real quick, can you go? What's the next model up? What are the next models?
That's what I'm looking for. Here it is. 3 storage options. $400 is the 64 gig version with a carrying case. For $530, you get the 256 gigabyte model, faster storage, carrying case, and then the deluxe is 512 gigabytes for $650. Internal storage, an exclusive virtual keyboard, carrying case, Steam Community Profile Bundle, anti-glare etched glass.
Okay, so here's the thing. I wouldn't even bother with the $400 one personally, because it doesn't have SSD storage. If I were to get this, I'd pony up for the 529 or the 649 model just because of that SSD, because it makes so much of a difference in terms of performance and how things run that for me it wouldn't even make any sense for me to get that $400 one. That said, I'm $649. I'd pony up.
64 storage, you can install 1 and 1.5 games on it.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess they had to throw that out there as kind of like the base model, but I can't even see too many people going crazy for that $400 one. I think the one that's going to sell the most is definitely going to be that 529, because it sits right in the middle and it'll be nice for a lot of people. But if I were to go all out, I'd pay the extra and just get the $649 one.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, hey. I don't know what that means, but cool. I'm just going to leave that there. So that's it. That's all the topics that we got for tonight. We'll be back tomorrow for a comic book episode with good old Jess Bragg hosting. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, for joining. for the chat. You guys are wonderful as always. Thank you so much. And if you're watching this at a later point in time, leave your comments down below on all the stuff that we talked about. Very interested in your opinion on that. So thank you to our sponsor. Thank you to all you wonderful viewers out there. Lou, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me at Comics Guide 101 on Twitter and Comics Guide 101 on YouTube, where you can see an archive of old videos.
Yeah, there we go. And you can find my channel. That's A Week in Geekdom, talking about anime and manga. Typically leave the comic book talk for this channel.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it. Goodbye, everybody. Take care. Catch you on the next stream.
Good night, everybody.